Good morning, brother and sister. I hope you are all well and safe. And today is a very special day as we celebrate the life and remember the life of all our brothers and sisters who ascended to the spiritual world and went to their eternal home. They were very, very special people. They were chosen by heaven to follow our true paths or the returned Messiah. So they really gave their life, and they left their family. Some left their family and their job and their study to answer the call of heaven. And some met a lot of persecution and opposition from their family and friends, and also a lot of challenging situation in their life, but they kept going. We are very grateful to them and in fact in debt to them, because on their foundation our church could grow in the UK. And also we are very grateful for all the love that they give us in our personal life. So today we are having our memorial service. Unfortunately, we are not able to be in Stanton, Switzerland. This last year we would celebrate our memorial service in Stanton, Switzerland at the 1 John. And this, I think we are not able to do it this year because of the COVID-19. So, but thanks to modern technology, we will be able still to have our memorial service online. So I know we will miss the time that we are there at the 1 John of our loved one. We'll miss the fellowship, and we'll miss the time to visit our loved one 1 John. But you can always go and make your own way any time to go there. It is a very beautiful place, very heavenly place, a place that our true Father consecrated with a holy ground. I went myself with my family. We went on my husband's birthday. We went there and we had a lovely afternoon. We spent the time there and we had a picnic, and it was really beautiful, very holy place, very peaceful. So please don't hesitate to go anytime. Keiko Dojal is taking care of the place, and she's always welcoming anyone. If you need help, she will be there. And we are very grateful, very blessed in the UK to have this place where we can bring our loved one and bury our loved one there. We are very, very grateful to also the member of the West Country for taking care so well of that place. So thank you, Keiko. I want to introduce our service, our memorial service. We'll start with an opening prayer from our brother Franklin Fortune. Franklin is a beautiful brother, very good-hearted, very compassionate brother with a lot of compassion for our brother and sister who lost a loved one. He's always there, ready to listen and to speak to us, and he's always there when there's a sungwa, always ready to help. So we'll start with Franklin prayer, and it will be followed by a video clip of the Stanton, Switzerland, where you can see how it has been developed in such a lovely way there, and thanks to all the work that has been done by our member. So after that, we'll have 2 songs, and then we'll have the photo collage. We are very grateful for everyone who sent their photo of their loved one and their family. It's really wonderful to see all those photos and remembering all those members. So Raymond really did a really amazing job to put it all together. So we have basically over 40 photos that we'll be able to show you. But we know that I'm sure there's some member could not send their photo, but at the end of the service we'll have a list of all the members who ascended from the UK And at this point, we counted over 77 members who ascended. But I'm sure there's some who are missing. So please send that information to us so that we can complete our list. So after the collage, we will have testimonies from Anne Rose Adams, who live in Plymouth, and from Mr. Hayashi. So we are very grateful for them to come forward and offering their testimony. So now we'll start now our service. I want to introduce Franklin with the opening prayer.
Good morning, most beloved Heavenly Parents. We are very grateful that we can gather here today, the 25th of October, to have this memorial service. We really want to give thanks for the life of all our brothers and sisters who have lived their life here on this earth and is now ascended, living behind their husbands, their wives, their children, their grandchildren, their brothers and sisters. Really want to pray, Father, that their life, Father, can, in the spirit world, can continue to bear wonderful fruits, Father, walking with God through parents, rooting in them. And really pray, Father, for your blessing, Father, over those of us who is here on this earth, continuing along this journey. We pray, Father, as we remember their lives, we can remember the different lessons which we can learn from their lives, and a life that is well led. Father, please be with us through this morning's service, and all of us as we bring our hearts and mind together and remembering our beloved departed ones. I offer this prayer and report this name of Franklin and Cecilia Fortune. Blessed to family, I do.
anymore, for I have found in your bright eyes a river of love, a heart of gold, a peaceful mind, a hand to hold. And what will I do with this precious gift? Shall I embrace it to myself? Oh no, I can't. I would lose it sure. It must be enough if it's to endure. And how will I lose this treasure store?
Good afternoon, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for allowing me to briefly share about how my dear husband Robert, who's ascended 2 years plus ago, and myself and our family are now in a way living together. And I'm sure you're wondering, what is this Teddy doing here? This Teddy originally was given by Robert's mum to our eldest son, and we kept it, of course, and loved it all these years, and especially Robert loved it. When our husband or wife or other loved one passes away, I'm sure we all really so much miss them and wish to be able just to touch and hold and feel and embrace them. So after Robert's ascension, naturally, I felt the same way. And my mind pretty simply, quickly turned to Teddy. And I began to, in a very simple way, treat Teddy as an external kind of a replacement for Robert, just as something, a part of him that I can hold and hug and feel warmth from. So since a long time already, this Teddy representing Robert used to come to bed with me, and we would be there together next to each other. And sometimes I would just hug him and hold him and talk to him like that. And I noticed that our sons feel happy, at least comforted, when they sometimes see me do that. And I feel it is good for them too. Especially since living on my own now for the last 6.5 months, I have been able to focus on it a little bit more actually, and to go beyond this simply feeling or hugging him into communicating not just purely spiritually or in prayer as I used to do, but more when we are together in bed at night. I get him ready in a way, put on his pajamas and say, I won't be long, do what needs doing, and then we snuggle up together. And I try and find out what his day was like. And I'm not very good at detecting that at all. But I thank him for his work. I encourage him. I let him know that we always think of him, for him not to worry about us, that he is with us in heart and mind with everything we do. And I encourage him to do first whatever it is that God and true parents need doing, to really spread his wings in spirit world. In a way, also during the daytime, from the morning he's with us in prayer. He sits in a good place in the living room and sees a lot of what's going on. I sometimes talk with him. When I go out, I say, I see you later. And when I come back, I might briefly greet him as well. At night, when we go to bed together, as we always did before, we read a very short quotation of True Father's words from The Way of the God's Will. And then there's this warmth and this deep feeling between us as we say, in a way, good night to each other. And I feel, in a way, like I never walk alone. But truly, he's there, he knows and feels us, and he accompanies us. So there's a sense of you never walk alone. And also really the power, actually, of a couple where one is in spirit world and the other one on this earth. just like two parents at this time, truly I believe is a special power that we can find ways, together with our blessed ancestors, to really capitalize on for the best of all our surroundings, our families and beyond. Truly, this is a great power that God has given to us through, in a way, the medium of the ascension of a loved one. Thank you very much for giving me the time to share this. Wishing you all great blessings. Thank you.
I'd like to share my experiences my past 3 years. And the most shocking and devastating experience in my life is when I heard the news that my wife is stage 4 cancer and she can live only 3 months. I agonizingly cried for 1 week. But God is alive. He let me understand there is a higher perspective, purpose, and providential meaning of her serious sickness. God is not crying, so I shouldn't. So my worst time is over and move to the next phase. Reiko didn't like to see anyone tear, sadness, and sorrow, especially mine. So families spend time together, as if nothing happened, meal together, sing songs together, with jokes and laugh. But everyone knows she doesn't have time. She didn't have fear, worry, or regret. She was strong internally, but externally gradually she became so weak, and finally she passed away on 24th of September 2018. We all family members deeply appreciate the support of all sorts and sincere prayer. I felt the power of love and importance of having such good community. I and my children did not cry at the time of our ceremony, since God gave us good 1 year to prepare for her ascension. And I felt that she was smiling at that time, so I just couldn't cry but smile and send her off. Since she ascended, 2 years have passed. Every so often I made many poems, express my love. It actually helped me to get over sorrow and loneliness. Some people with same situation need someone to talk. There is a therapy for bereavement. Important things expose and express one's heart, not keeping it inside. Making the poem is good therapy for me. Last 2 years, I think, holding Reiko's hand tight. But recently I feel I should let her go, holding her hand no more. Because of my love, she may tied up with too much. She must be free, and I had to be free from emotional attachment. Someone put up on Facebook, "You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free." My love to her never disappeared or changed, but I feel my love is refined and integrated to the higher realm. I engraved 3 dates on her headstone as well as her favorite sunflower. The date she was born in Maebashi, Japan, the date she was blessed with me in Seoul, Korea, the date she passed away in London, because I think those 3 dates are most important for her life and for all of us. Lastly, I'd like to offer utmost gratitude of our blessing to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. I met her in 1978 and sent her in 2018. It is exactly 40 years. Love and sacrifice our life for the sake of this country is indeed the deep privilege. Being together and raised 4 children and created happy family is the happiest time in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Rose and Mr. Hashi, for giving your testimony, such a moving and uplifting testimony. I think it's hard for people who didn't go through this kind of experience of losing a loved one. It's hard to understand what we are going through, what bereaved members are going through. It's like our life changed completely, and we have to adapt to completely new situation, completely new life. We have to take more responsibility, and it's really a big challenge. And with time, we try to cope and adapt, and but we never forget, and we always feel something missing in our life. So knowing that what members were going through, we decided, Ann Kobayashi, Toyoko Davis and me, we decided that we should start a support network for our brothers and sisters who are going through bereavement. And this is how we start Songwa Ministry. And we are very grateful for Franklin Fortune for his support, as he's really now joining us and helping us. We started this, but our heart is there, but we don't feel very capable, and we have still a lot to learn to come to the point that we can really give that support. So we really want to improve ourselves and develop that support network. So now I want to speak to you about the second part of our service, which will consist on the message that Mark Balkan will be giving to us. First of all, we start with the reading, and afterward we'll have a song, and then Mark will give us the message for today. We are very grateful for Mark to take the time to be with us on this special time of the memorial service when we remember all our ascended members. So, and afterwards, Mitty will conclude our service with a closing prayer. So I pray, please join us now.
Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just round the corner. All is well. Nothing is hurt. Nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again.
Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may also be. The moment we enter spirit world should be a time that we enter a world of joy and victory with the fruits born of our lives on earth. It is a time for those of us remaining on earth to send off the departed with joy. It should be a time for great celebration. We should be shedding tears of joy instead of tears of sadness. That is the way of the sacred and noble Songwa ceremony, the first step the spirit of the departed takes towards enjoying eternal life in attendance of God within his embrace. At the moment of death, our spirits should feel more excited and thrilled than a newlywed bride feels when she goes to her groom's home for the first time.
Hi, this is my song, Father Won't You Hold Me, and it's about turning to God no matter what state you're in. So that's what the song's about. Hope you enjoy it. Father, won't you hold me when I'm feeling so alone? My heart is growing weaker. I can't make it on my own. I'm feeling like a burden. Give me strength to carry on. So Father, please bring me deeper to your arms, like you did before. I know you did before. I'm all choked up, I can't find the words, can't figure it out. The answers that once brought comfort can't satisfy, I'm full of doubt. Father, please release me from these chains that drag me down. Father, I seek your presence. Would you do it again? Would you pull me out like you did before? I know you did before. Father, I need a father to carry me through the storms. My feet are growing weary. I've been on the road for oh so long. So Father, won't you carry me all the way home. Please lead the way. Where you lead me, oh, there I'll go. Like you did before. I know you did before. Come do it again.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining this very special Sunday service, our National Memorial Service for 2020, Sunday, October the 26th. And of course, to begin with, Fumiko and I would like to offer all of our love and our prayers and our greetings, especially for those families who are today remembering an ascended one, but for all families in the United Kingdom. We are the Heavenly Parents Holy Community, and all of us are bound together in eternity, of course, but also in our life right here on the earth. And today I would like to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned directly from true parents surrounding the process of ascension, passing, and how we on earth live after the loss of a loved one. And basically there are three areas that I'd like to discuss. And the acronym is God, G for gratitude, O for offering, and D for determination. As many of you know, our True Mother's motto is to be more grateful today than she was yesterday, and more grateful tomorrow than she was today. It's a wonderful motto to live by. And gratitude is really a state of mind, isn't it? It's deciding to be thankful and grateful for what we have rather than dwelling on all the things that we don't have. And when it comes to the whole matter of life and death, I think I'm particularly grateful to true parents because of what they've taught us about the nature of human life. Father once said, it's absolutely essential that you understand that the spiritual world is real. If you understand nothing else, but you know that, it will change the way that you live your life. And what has true parents taught us about the spirit world? Well, of course, the first thing is that there is one, that actually there are three stages of human life. The first, the 9 months on earth in our mother's womb. The second, the 90 years or so that we spend in this physical world. And the third, the eternal world of the spirit. And Father explained that at each stage, we don't know what's coming. So the baby in the womb, for example, knows nothing of the world ahead. In fact, Father used to say that for a baby in the womb, the mother's womb is its entire universe, even though it's only the size of a rice cooker. And then the baby comes out into this world, which to us is vast and enormous. However, compared to the spirit world, this world also is just like a rice cooker. And we really don't know what the world of the spirit will be like. But True Father has taught us and assured us that it is real, it is eternal, and all of us will go there, whether we like it or not. Father often used to say in the peace messages. A second important thing that true parents have taught us about life on earth is that one of our main purposes is to perfect and grow our spirits. And we learn about the stages of growth, and that human beings unique in creation must exercise a portion of responsibility. And as we do, we learn to love. We go through the different stages of just receiving love, which is children's love, of sharing love, which is siblings' love, of mutual conjugal love, and finally, we learn to love as parents ourselves. But in fact, learning these things is not limited to actually fulfilling all of them in your lifetime. Some people pass to the spirit world very early, and they don't have a chance to experience the four realms of love on earth. But don't worry. Father explained that there is an opportunity to do so in the spiritual realm. So everybody has to go through the same process. So this is something to be entirely grateful for. It's natural, I think, to be a little bit afraid of death, and certainly we tend to be uncomfortable around the unknown. But through true parents and through the divine principle, we know so much, and it's very important that we remind ourselves of that and we practice that way of life every day. Father used to say that if you really understood when you were in school how important it was to do well, you might have taken it more seriously. And I think myself that if I really deeply understand the purpose of this life on earth, I might be more serious in preparing for the eternal world. However, it doesn't mean that we should only be looking ahead. We have to think about this world here and the things that we need to fulfill. So, to be grateful no matter what is extremely important, and it helps us to make our offering. You know, if I think about true parents' course, it has been extremely difficult, not least that they had to send several of their children ahead of them to the spirit world, which is surely the most difficult thing for any parent. For True Mother, she had 4 of her children go to spirit world before her. And I remember the way Father and Mother behaved when Hung Jinim went to the spirit world, now almost 40 years ago. I don't think that that was a predestined course, and it certainly was a tragedy that could have been avoided. However, true father didn't lose time on thinking about what could or should have happened. Instead, he determined that he would make this life an offering, and he determined that through this offering, God would be able to claim back so much more than anything that might have been lost. And as we know, Father encouraged Mother, let's not shed tears in public because we want to show the tradition that an offering is being made. And when you make an offering, you have to let it go. You can't keep holding on to it and wishing that it would come back. We saw the same thing later, of course, when Hyojinim suddenly passed to the spirit world in 2008. You look at true parents' faces at that ceremony, they're so sorrowful and sad. Of course, who could lose their eldest son without feeling such pain? But again, Father determined, no, my attitude and my commitment is to make this an offering so that no matter what happened during Hyojinim's life on earth, which wasn't perfect, which had mistakes, nevertheless, God would be able to claim it and resurrect him to glory in the spirit world. And of course, this is what has happened. And then think about True Mother herself. When Father passed away to the spirit world just over 8 years ago, I think none of us were really ready. Of course, we had seen his deterioration over 3 weeks in hospital, but Father had been in hospital before, and I, for one, was certainly expecting that Father would make a miraculous comeback, but he didn't. And after he passed away, True Mother determined herself to make his life an offering as well. So the first thing she did was to really seriously take time to mourn and grieve for True Father. First of all, for 40 days, where she did nothing else than spend time with Father in spirit, preparing his meals, going to his gravesite, praying deeply, and in her own words, saying that finally our hearts and minds became one. But it didn't stop after 40 days. Mother then continued to offer a period of public mourning for 3 years. And I remember towards the end of that stage, it was in 2015, that Mother explained that she'd like to conclude that period on the 1000th day after Father's ascension with the offering of the new IPEC Education Center in Las Vegas, which was True Father's last project on the earth. And on that day, True Mother offered a very tearful prayer, but also she brought new clothes for True Father. She hung them in what would have been his bedroom in the IPEC, and she decided, from today I move on, and I move on to fulfill the things that True Father wanted to do during his life on earth. So this was the second stage, which is offering. No matter what happens in a person's life, and even if the circumstances of their passing seem to be premature or unpleasant or whatever it is, still we have to make it an offering, and we have to move on. And we have to trust God that in the spirit world, this person will continue to be nurtured. And if we can't do that, in a way, we're holding them back, because an offering has to be made and left on the altar. But that's not the end either. The next step is determination. So it would have been easy for True Mother, after completing this time of offering, to think, that's it, I'm now going to retire and let the providence carry on with other people at the helm. But Mother felt, I can't do that because there is unfinished work. For example, True Father often used to say, I want to spend even one day in the kingdom of God on earth in a restored nation. But when Father passed away, there wasn't really any nation that could be called restored. Also, True Mother knew that Father wanted to see the unity of the world's religion. She wanted to see all the people of the world come together as one family under God. And so True Mother determined, I am going to see that work to completion. Now, this wasn't just something that she decided after True Father passed, of course. It was a reflection of her lifelong commitment, which we can read about in her memoir, to honor God and to try to finish the providence of restoration in her lifetime. So for the last few years, True Mother worked hard to try to fulfill the things that Father would have done had he been alive on earth. She worked hard to, at least conditionally, restore 7 nations. And of course, here in Europe, we're very proud that True Mother named Albania as a heavenly nation. Now, if you go to Albania today, you won't get a stamp in your passport saying Heavenly Albania. Maybe from external eyes, it looks just like it was before. But something has changed because the nation as a whole, from the president and the first family all the way down to the people, made a commitment to stand with true parents during Mother's visit last year. So significant. And I really hope that we can have something similar happen here in the United Kingdom. Afterwards, True Mother said, restored nation is like a newborn baby. It needs constant care, love, and attention if it's to grow to really fulfill the promise that God wants. But nevertheless, it is an absolutely important start. There are many other things that True Mother has been working on in the past 7 years. And if you watch the video news out of Korea, you'll see that she's also building up the Cheongpyeong complex to make it the model global village that Father always used to speak about. Again, it would have been easy to say, my children or grandchildren will do that work, but Mother decided, I will do it myself. And I think that that kind of determination is very useful for us to take on board as well. Probably when your loved one ascended to the spirit world, there was a feeling not everything has been completed. I think few of us feel that we have really done everything we could on earth. So there is unfinished work. And my guess is that those people ascended in the spirit world, and I'm sure they're listening to this video, if they could, would say to their descendants on the earth, please keep going. Please don't stop, but let's fulfill the things that we promised to God when we were younger. And of course, there's just a few things that True Mother has really asked us to do. They may seem huge, but I'm telling you, if we could all do them together, it would make an enormous difference. And just to review, Mother's asked us to liberate all of our ancestors and bless them as well. Many families in the UK have done that, but many have not. I suggest to you that this is a communal responsibility. It's not just something that some families do and some don't. But actually, if we really are a holy community, we should be willing to help each other to fulfill this task. And we may think, well, what difference does that make? But I think that if the spirit world is liberated, the rest of the spirit world of the UK can be liberated as well. You think about all the saints and holy men and women of this country, some scoundrels too, of course, but it's all part of our British history. And there's no question God still wants to use this nation. And the ancestors, the forefathers of Great Britain, they must be ready to help. The second thing that Mother's asked us to do, of course, is to create a physical tribe here on earth by giving the blessing. Not so long ago, I had a really encouraging visit with one of our blessed families who just were honored as a Chonbo family. And they've been blessing couples right around their home here in London. And at the first sight, it seems like a very simple process. But what they told me was, afterwards, when they met these people, their couples testified, something happened to us. Since you gave us that holy wine, our life has started to change. Things have become much better than they were before. And I've heard this kind of testimony many times. So we have to have confidence that we are Messiahs. God has given us the authority and the ability to give an amazing blessing to people that they could never receive before. So again, for those families who have an ascended one being memorialized today, what about finishing that work together? And it's not just your responsibility, but again, as a community, we should be helping each other to complete these tasks. They are, of course, just the beginning. But I think they're important. Our determination of where we're going from now will, I think, work backwards. It will complete and consummate the offering of our loved ones' lives on this earth. And also it will help us, of course, to feel that heart of gratitude, because nothing makes you feel more grateful than victory and accomplishment. Brothers and sisters, today is really an important day. It's an important day to be grateful, of course, and to remember the contributions that our ascended brothers and sisters have made, but also to remember and be kind to each other for the contributions we're making right now. You know, the heavenly community, the holy community, if it has to be a community of love, right? Of concern, of caring. So I would like to think that we use today to increase our determination to love each other, to be grateful, and to make our offering, to make our personal offering, our family offering, but also to make this nation an offering before God and true parents. And this comes then to our determination that we're not giving up, we're not stopping. Even though we may have had some reverses along the way, we will keep going. And again, True Mother told us, in the beginning, I felt like I was lost. I was in a desert, in a sandstorm, trying to find a needle. It was almost an impossible task. Voices in my head were telling me to give up, but I didn't. This is the lesson that I'd like to share with you today from our true parents. Let us, therefore, remember these acronym: God, grateful, offering, determination. Thank you very much, and God bless you and your families.
Please join me in a prayer. Good morning, our loving Heavenly Parents and our beloved true parents. Thank you for this morning's Sunday service message by Dr. Balcom. We are remembering our brothers and sisters who have ascended into the spiritual world. Heavenly Parents, we remember our brothers and sisters, our fathers and children and mothers who have passed into the spirit world. We remember their life, their sacrifice, and their incredible dedication to you, Heavenly Parents, and real loyalty towards the principle. Heavenly Parents, they followed a path that is not trodden by anyone in this world. We are really privileged in this sense that we are able to be the pioneers to really lay the foundations for the kingdom of heaven. Heavenly Parents, you have guided us always in our lives, and you continue to guide us each day. We're really grateful to our true parents for helping us and educating us and liberating us from the shackles of our historical past. Heavenly Parents, we are free from accusations and we are free to work freely with you. Please guide us, and please let us remember our sincere brothers and sisters who are now working together with our true Father in the spirit world and making incredible conditions and foundations there. We are not far away from them. We think about them and our brothers and sisters who are still here, who have lost their loved ones. Remember them each day and think about them each day. Heavenly Parents, we are also feel so connected to each other, and we all belong to you and we all belong to each other. I thank you for everything you give to us so freely and so lovingly. I want to offer you this prayer with gratitude. I report in the name of Kunihira Mititoma of a blessed central family, Aju.
Thank you, Mike, for your message. And we would like to thank also everyone who contribute to the organization of this memorial service. We would like to invite you all to join us on Zoom, and you will find the link in the video underneath. We would like to wish you all a good week, and we hope very much that next time we will have our memorial service at Stanton Fitzgerald. Thank you.